Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Monday, the 18th of November 2024, the year of 1,000,000 transactions per second and more. Experience the best of both worlds today at betbitcoinsv.com, the best casino and sports betting on chain. Have a little flutter in private using the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Let's see what we've got in store for us today. This article here by Cointelegraph saying Polish president candidate pledges support for strategic, that's Greg Coin reserve, whoa. And then we've got Bitcoin Magazine saying, are retail investors behind this Bitcoin price surge, this bull run? Well, we know exactly what's going on because all you've got to do is look at the printing of Tether. Then we're going to just go on about these dormant addresses waking up and how much effect they can actually have on the market. And then this Satoshi era transaction moving 2,000 BTC for the first time. All these BTC'ers get their knickers in a twist about that. We'll have a look at the volume on exchanges, some of the transactions going on here. Going to talk about this interview with Michael Saylor and his Ponzi scheme. Got some articles here by BSV Blockchain. A little bit 365 days of Bitcoin history. And that'll be the end of the show. Right, let's get into it.
Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1,000,000 strong, and transactions flying free. Just wait for the Terror node, you'll surely see.
Here we go. Right, so we'll see what's going on here. So Cointelegraph has said Polish presidential candidate pledges support for strategic BTC Greg Coin reserve. So this is Sławomir Mencen, a Polish presidential candidate, vowed to create a Bitcoin reserve if elected in 2025. I mean, again, they're trying to get on the Polish Bitcoin vote, aren't they? But I mean, this is going to come back to bite them really badly, you know. A Polish presidential candidate, I'm not going to pronounce his name again, vowed to create a Bitcoin reserve, that's Greg Coin, if he wins next year's election, mirroring a promise made by US President-elect Donald Trump during his campaign. In a November 17th statement on X, Mencen also doubled down on his stance that if he becomes president, Poland will become more crypto-friendly after being asked if he would consider implementing a Greg Coin reserve. I'm not going to read the rest of that because we really don't need to. We know what this is about. But, you know, I can't stress enough, if something is useful, it's valuable. If something is useless, it's worthless. It is that simple. It's not rocket scientists, but yeah, everybody understands that you need a fixed supply of a commodity, whereas fiat currency is infinitely divisible, therefore infinitely inflated, causing unlimited and untold economic hardship. So people know there is a problem with the financial system, and nothing mirrors an issue with the financial system more than anomalies occurring in the system. And one of the anomalies is people buying artwork that is meant to be admired and hung on a wall, and just stashing it in a storage container in the darkness so nobody can see it. Why would you do that? You do that because there is a problem with the medium of exchange that's being used. It's economically toxic. So people are buying art not for the love of art, but they're buying it for the provenance, because it's the provenance that is fixed in supply. That's a rare bit of art, and as the currency continues to inflate, the value of the painting goes up in comparison to the currency, but it's actually the currency going down rather than the painting going up in value, because the painting is just a painting, it doesn't change. So what makes the price go up? Well, it's actually the value of the currency going down, not the value of the painting going up. That's it. And literally, Bitcoin will flip all the economics on its head. We will return to a true market economy rather than a market that is manipulated by those who are in control of the currency supply. That is fiat fraud. Just securities fraud, basically. So, yeah. Let's have a look at Bitcoin Magazine saying, are retail investors behind this Bitcoin price surge, this bull run? Analyzing Bitcoin's current market price dynamics to uncover what's driving the price. Who wants to bet that they'll actually have a look at Tether or not? I bet they won't. As Greg Coin once again finds itself in price discovery mode, market watchers and enthusiasts are curious. Has retail FOMO set in yet, or is this a retail surge we've seen in the past bull cycle still on the horizon? Well, they're calling it a retail surge. It's not. This is Tether pumping it. That is it. $5 billion in 7 days has gone in. Using data from active addresses, historical titles, and various market indicators, apart from Tether, we'll examine where the Bitcoin, this Greg Coin market currently stands and what it might signal about the near future. Rising interest, again, all this crap, just distracting people away from it. Live viewing chart, oh yeah, supply shifts, oh it could be that, you know. spot driven rally. Oh, not sure about that, but it could be big holders accumulating. Oh yeah, jump on it. It's all FOMO. Conclusion BS. While a great coins rally to all-time highs has brought renewed attention, we're not yet seeing the tailgate sign of widespread retail FOMO. I wonder why that is. The subdued retail interest suggests we may only be in the beginning phase of this rally. Long-term holders remain confident. Whales are accumulating, really. Their leverage remains modest, all indicators of a healthy, sustainable rally. As we continue into this bull cycle, the market structure suggests that the potential for a larger retail-driven surge remains ahead. Or you mean more tether printing? If this retail interest materializes, it could propel great coin to new heights. Well, yeah, but there's only a limit, really, because without utility, they're purely relying on tether pumping it. And the higher the price gets, the more tether is required to pump it, until it gets to a point where literally, even if they're pumping in hundreds of billions, it's not going to have an effect on the increase because the price is already so high. That there's a limit. There's a limit. Hundreds of billions is nothing really when you consider the size of the global economy. If the global economy actually started buying Bitcoin in order to use Bitcoin to utilize the network for all their digital requirements, that's a different kettle of fish. But just simply relying on Tether, which is what BTC is doing, you've got a very, very limited market cap. Very limited. And highly speculative because it all depends on when Tether's going to print or not. Because it's basically Tether versus the traders. Tether pumps the market, traders take the value back out again, ups and downs. That's it. It does nothing. It's just nothing but a Ponzi scheme. Without Tether, it would just simply collapse. And look at this. So we've got this on here. This was just yesterday, November 17th. The dormant address containing 400 BTC has just been activated after 12.5 years. Worth 35 million. Let's have a look. See, look at that. And 200 BTC has gone to Gemini. And if we look at Gemini, so that's $107 million worth. And I think, 200 BTC? I can't figure that out, but we got the was it 35 million? And if the 24-hour trade volume of BTC on Gemini is just 63 million, I mean, my goodness, that's more than 50%. That's more than 50%. So 200 BTC is more than 50% of the 24-hour trade volume on Gemini. Even if just those small amount, that 200 BTC were to be converted or sold on Gemini, it would just completely destroy the price on the market. So it's really quite vulnerable, to be honest with you. Especially when you realize how much Bitcoin Satoshi has got, we're talking millions here, and you only need 200. I mean, it's not even 1,000, let alone a million, which is so that were a million is 1,000. So and this is just 36 million. It's just nothing. The market is really vulnerable, and people have no idea, like literally no idea. Let's have a look at this then. So again, look at this, more Satoshi era Bitcoin, saying a wallet just moved 2,000 BTC for the first time. I mean, 2,000 BTC would literally bring down most crypto exchanges if they were to be moved onto an exchange and then sold. Literally, and if Satoshi knows that BTC is a shitcoin, an altcoin, posing as Bitcoin with the ticker symbol BTC, there is going to be a lesson learnt. But it's all about where the finger of blame falls. Who is going to be blamed for this? Is it going to be Blockstream for creating a fraudulent protocol, like a securitized protocol, an economically worthless protocol, and labeling it as BTC and having the world fall for it? Or is it going to be like, Satoshi should have told us this ages ago. You could have told us this beforehand. Well, actually, no, I couldn't, because the market had to undergo a period of commoditization. But, again, we know Craig came out in 2017. He's trying to give them as much warning as possible, and as other people say, we told you this. If you didn't believe it, well, that's your problem. It's going to be a big problem. But where the finger of blame lies is going to be the real question. Let's have a look at the BitInfo Charts here. This is kind of interesting. So we've currently got genuine Bitcoin with 45.9% of the entire market's transaction volume on its network right now. And yet it's got a market price of just $68. You know, we're probably in like the ranked like number 70 on the crypto market cap. And we've got big names in here. Look, you know, we've got BTC, we've got Ethereum, we've got XRP, we've got Dogecoin, and yet Bitcoin is absolutely smashing them. And yet it's ranked, you know, in the 70s. Let's have a quick look at that. Here we go. Is it going to be in the 70s? Oh, 67. 67. There we go. Going up just a little bit. Right. Let's have a listen to this. Even I was quite shocked by this. Here we go. This was the Saylor BTC Ponzi Explained by Michael Saylor himself. Let's have a listen.
MicroStrategy has homogeneous credit. We're going to raise $1 billion, buy Bitcoin, show you that we bought Bitcoin, that accreted Bitcoin per share. The investors look at it, it's an immediate gain. We just lived through 5 years and 5 days. And then once we've done that fast, rapid investment cycle, what's your next idea? I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to buy another $1 billion of Bitcoin. And so if you look at that against the backdrop of this year, in the first quarter, we did an $800 million convertible bond. We bought Bitcoin. The market liked it. The very next week, we went back to the market, did a $600 million convertible bond, bought more Bitcoin. It was accreted. The market liked it. So what we do, we went back the next quarter. We did another $800 million bond. We bought Bitcoin. The market liked it. In the middle, we sold hundreds of millions of dollars of equity. And the next quarter, we sold more equity. We sold $1.1 billion of equity in Q3. We basically did that at a massive premium. So we captured a large BTC yield. We announced that. The market liked it. And then very next week, we did a convertible bond. And that became $1 billion convertible bond. And so what you see is we're running a very rapid investment cycle. We're developing a city in cyberspace. We call that city Bitcoin.
Yeah. A very rapid development cycle, yeah, to put it mildly. And again, this is all based on number go up. Number go up, so he's effectively releasing or selling equity in his company, buying Bitcoin with it. Number goes up. Yeah, the market liked it. They can sell more shares, and the shares are backed by the value of the company, but the value of the company is basically backed by the holdings in Bitcoin now. It literally, he's not even looking at what he's purchasing. He's probably read the white paper and still thinks that BTC follows that. When we know in 2017, BTC BTC started to represent this alternative protocol that was created by Blockstream that doesn't follow the white paper at all. That's had the signatures removed, which was segregated, which removes all contractual credibility and therefore economic value. He's buying something that's absolutely worthless, and he has no idea, and his investors have no idea either. I mean, this is going to be absolutely devastating for the guy, but I mean, the guy won't listen. So, you know, maybe he's ignorant of just how corrupt things are, and he's like, why would anybody do this? A rising tide lifts all boats. You know, I think he has no idea how nefarious the central banks are and how much influence they have over things like this. Willing to corrupt it and see. I mean, this guy is literally just going to be hung out to dry, you know. Jeepers. Let's have a look at this. What's this? Blockchain is now becoming a mature industry. Really? Well, I mean, is that due to Terranode or is that due to BTC number go up? Let's have a quick read here. So they said, while much of the past focus has been on blockchain as a nascent and growing technology, in the past few years, it has undergone a transition to a more mature industry focused on use cases. Very good. This is the view of Muneeb Shah, Director of Technology Consulting at Ernst & Young, who was speaking on the sidelines of the recent London Blockchain Conference. Shah has over 17 years of experience in the payment and cash management, with the last 6 years being focused on blockchain and its application, both as a professional advisor and as an industry practitioner. The challenge is not about technology only, he said. Sometimes we tend to think about blockchain and the nascence of the technology itself, whether it's mature enough, etc. But over the last few years, we have seen that transition. Technology has matured, and there are use cases with a foremost now at production grade maturity. Quote here, the biggest challenge is about the ecosystem and adoption and the minimum viable ecosystem to sustain a particular use case on the platform. It's not about a particular use case. It's a generic use case. It is immutable data. That is it. Data is too precious to lose. You need to know where it came from. Data needs provenance, and that's what Bitcoin brings. Bitcoin brings provenance to data and digital content creation. I'm going to use that as an expression sooner or later. Bitcoin brings provenance to data, like in my own work there. A maturing industry focusing on use cases. Shah noted that he and his team have often looked at use cases in the past, whereas enterprise and organizations have historically just looked at blockchain as a technology. And I think that the industry as a whole has moved up that level now, where we are looking at use cases as the basic building block, not just in terms of what the technology brings to the table. So I would say that Bitcoin is the foundation layer of all future digital technology, secured and underpinned by economic principles. And maybe they're just starting to learn this, who knows. So our view and our advice to our clients has always been, let's look at the use case first. Let's understand what that use case needs from an underlying tech standpoint. Does it merit using a blockchain? Well, of course, it doesn't merit using a blockchain. Blockchain is just simply the process that data goes through in order to make it immutable. That's it. And if yes, what type of blockchain is best suited? Oh my goodness me. What type of blockchain? What is he on about? I think that should be the key. What does he mean? What type of blockchain is best suited? So that indicates to me that he doesn't know the difference between proof of work, proof of stake, pre-mined, and all these other crap ones like Hedera, Hashgraph, IOTAs, Tangle, all that crap. He doesn't know what distributed technology is. Good grief. Shah noted that this transition had taken place over the last 5 to 6 years, with blockchain seeing significant maturation from a technical standpoint. Quote here, we have now moved to a world where we are talking about seamless interoperability. Good, I mean, that's a shitcoin term there. We are talking about privacy, we're talking about high scalability, all the key elements that a technology platform would need to provide for enterprise use cases. Looking forward, despite the growth shown in the last few years, Shah noted that there are still some challenges around ecosystem development and regulation. We need to see a bit more protectiveness from regulators, only from protecting the public from shitcoins, in terms of encouraging the use of the technology and creating innovation. And that has already started happening. We're now seeing regulators coming up with distributed ledger-oriented sandboxes where they're encouraging participants to use cases, for example, on bonds, securities, carbon emissions, and whatnot. Quote, I think we need more of that globally, and we also need a fully based regulatory sort of framework in terms of how digital assets and blockchains can manifest in the future, he said. Interesting. So who's this guy again who doesn't know anything about, consensus mechanisms? So he's the Director of Technology Consulting at Ernst & Young. Good grief, he's got a lot to learn. All right, let's have a look at a little bit. 365 days of Bitcoin history. So this was quite interesting. So 17th of November, Satoshi Nakamoto said, "If we provide them with such a throat, it will be cut." Let's see if we can find this one. Have I got a link there? 17th of November. I know they've changed this around a bit. November 9th. 13, 14. November 17. November 17. November 17. This is quite interesting, this one. Got a feeling it might be around here somewhere. So that was basically Craig saying that if we give them the opportunity to ban or take down Bitcoin, then they'll take it straight away. So if we provide them with such a threat, as in like the opportunity, they'll cut it and they'll stop Bitcoin. So he knows that. That's why it has to be regulatory compliant. It cannot be a security. It has to be a commodity. Absolutely, in every true sense of the word. And this is also another really important one. He said there will be transaction fees, so nodes will have an incentive to receive and include all the transactions they can. Nodes will eventually be compensated by transaction fees alone when the total coin created hits the predetermined ceiling, which is like 21 million. So this means they will be processing all types of transactions, and that is everything from microtransactions to HD streaming. Because miners have no political agenda in this. They're just like, that's a bit of data, we'll process it. You want to pay for the upload of that onto the network? Just give it to me, put it in the block. There you go. That's it. You know, how you use the network is on you, because your digital signature is with that bit of data, and there's a chain of digital signatures, meaning that it's the users of the network who are accountable, like a private association. Got nothing to do with the miners. It's just a bit of data that they'll process, and that's it. Also on the 17th of November 2022, FTX files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. This was an article in the Financial Times. Not having any of that. Yeah, there we go. I think we all remember that one. And November the 18th, Satoshi Nakamoto, actually no. It is, however, supposed to be pseudonymous. This is November 18th. Let's have a look at this. 15. Find 18. There we go. So this is in reply to a Nicholas Williams when he wrote, how do identities help? It's supposed to be anonymous cash, right? Satoshi wrote, actually no, it is, however, supposed to be pseudonymous. So dinging someone's reputation still does not help much. But there we go. So again, this is the difference between anonymity and privacy. Anonymity is what you would seek behind the bedroom door. Anonymity is what you'd seek if you're in the toilet cubicle. No one knows you're in there. You can do your business. No one knows what you've done. You're accountable to nobody. Privacy is what you and your partner would seek behind the bedroom door. You can identify with each other. You can engage with each other, but no third party can see, hear, or interfere. But that means that should a dispute arise between the two trading parties, should if they wish, one of them can, if they want to, show the evidence to a third party who can solve the dispute for them. And that is absolutely essential, because if you have an anonymous network, there is no one holding those who control the network to account. Whereas there's a big difference between controlling a network and maintaining the network. And the protocol, in order to be a commoditized network, has to be set in stone from the very beginning. And that is it. All right, let's have a quick look at these figures then, because that is a 23-minute show. Look at this, genuine Bitcoin, just $69. Transactions, though, flying up. 83% of the entire market now. Block size 79%. Got any juicy blocks coming through here? No, nothing to write home about there. But look at this, it's 105,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than Gregcoin. And you're mining Bitcoin at a 12.7% comparable loss in terms of profitability. Look at the transactions shooting up there. All right. Yeah, so there we go. Just a little quick show today. And as ever, if you enjoyed these updates, please ding your donations for your appreciation to either Satoshi at Sentby.com, Handcash.io, Simply.cash, Related.com, RockWallet.me, or Senti.ch. We'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed it. As ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.